Hello everyone, GenmaTheSamurai here, and I'm recording this fresh off of the new Nintendo Direct of Smash Bros. And you guys can go see the video where I kind of reacted to it live. There wasn't really a lot of anger or anything because I understood a lot of the character choices and other stuff, and so I'm not knocking that and saying that they made poor decisions, nor am I going to say that I wanted this, therefore should have happened. No, it was a ballot thing. It's what everyone wanted. I have no peeve with it. That's what happened. That's what happened. I just kind of wanted to discuss kind of an emotional situation that Nintendo in recent years has kind of put me in regarding a certain series that is very dear to me from when I was younger, and if I get like really emotional here, you know why. I'm gonna try not to really spoil it, as you guys have seen, and it is pertaining to Golden Sun. Now you guys may have noticed I've been playing Golden Sun: The Lost Age. A lot of you guys are newer and you've been seeing that. My very first game that I LP'd on this channel was Golden Sun, the original Golden Sun. And I chose it because it was a game that was very dear to me. Now, granted, you know, my general childhood revolved around Zelda, but if I had to say a game that was right next to it, was Golden Sun. And I guess I just am going to do a little video, or maybe not a little, I don't know. I'll make this as long as I kind of want to, where I can discuss, I guess, my own personal connections with the series and kind of the situation that I've been kind of put into right now. So when I was younger, I never really played many RPGs. You know, I was a really big fan of Zelda, but you know, I had a Game Boy Advance. I had a ton of games I'd like to play, and I was always like, you know, going places with my parents. You know, they would always go in car rides, and so one day I was riding in a car. I have no idea what context of what was happening that day, but my brother-in-law, no, not my brother, my actual brother. I do have a brother-in-law, but my actual brother and I don't know why I said my brother-in-law. We were just like riding in a car. He had some Game Boy Advance games, and he, you know, I want to also mind you that he's like 15 years older than me. I'm not going to go into explaining that, but so he had these games, and he was just like going like, hey, I have this game that's kind of like Zelda, and so I started playing it for like a little bit, Golden Sun, and I liked what I was playing. I liked how the game looked. For its time, it was a very, very pretty, very, 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 very pretty Game Boy Advance game. Like, now granted, as a kid, I didn't care about graphics. So if I saw a game that looked cool and fun to me, I played it. And, but going back on it, it was a very, very pretty game. And I was, I have no idea how old I was when I played it. I know the game came out like 2002 or something, I believe. I think the second game came out 2003. So maybe 2001. I think 2001 is probably more correct, is when the game came out. So I played it for a bit, and of course, you know, it wasn't my game, so I had to give it back to him. But a bit later, you know, I was like, I kind of want to play it again. So I asked my brother if I could borrow it, and I started playing, you know, Golden Sun, like the original. And essentially, I actually never gave it back to him. I you know, I was a kid, you know, but yeah, I mean, I would give it back to him, but I think there was one game I did give back to him. There were like 3 games I did that with, and now that I think about it, yeah, there were 3 games I did that with, so I was that brother, but at the same time, you know, he was super chill, you know, he really cared about me, and like, you know, thank you, bro, if you ever watch this for some strange reason. But yeah, and sorry. But no, when I played Golden Sun, though, it just, was such a it was a game that really enchanted me into kind of the atmosphere of its world. I think I actually didn't play Golden Sun 1 again until I had bought Golden Sun 2, because I saw it on the back of the box when I got my Game Boy Advance SP. And so now, sorry to backtrack again. So yeah, I played Golden Sun 2 for a bit before I went back and borrowed Golden Sun 1 again, because there was stuff, like I got to this one point where it just got like really hard in terms of the leveling and stuff, and then I like found out that you could like transfer data, you know, from Golden Sun 1 to 2. So I wanted to borrow Golden Sun 1 so I could do, you know, the second game proper. So I went and got the first one and played through it, and I got stuck around Mercury Lighthouse, for people who have watched my LP. So I'm going to try and keep like it spoiler free in context of what I've not done in my LP yet. Okay, but just so you guys know, you guys can go watch my LP. More specifically, my newer version of it. Do not watch my original LP. That was my worst thing ever. But I got stuck on like Mercury Lighthouse for a while fighting Satros, but I loved it because of the battle theme, and there were just these other kinds of aspects. And you guys are probably wondering why I'm talking about my life experience with the game in general. Is that I'll get into that in a moment, but I just kind of wanted to say that like this, it was a game that was very simple, and it was my gateway game to RPGs. It was a turn-based game, and it was simple in the aspect that it was turn-based, but it had this Jin mechanic that I never really understood until later, that did kind of break the difficulty of the first game, but it was still enjoyable and was a great gateway RPG. So then I went and played the second one. The second game was a lot more open, but conversely it felt like a more connectable world that you could actually explore and find things, and it was magical, and there were like places like Lemuria that I just visited in the LP, that when I went there in the game, the atmosphere and the music and the way everything looked really connected to me on an emotional level that you know, other games hadn't really done before, because again, it was my gateway RPG series. Like, this was a thing that I really connected to, and that like those are still games that I love to play on my Game Boy Advance every once in a while. Like, I still have my Game Boy Advance like around, if I can just pull this thing out. I have Golden Sun 1 and 2 like right here. There it is. Found it. But yeah, is that here you go. It's a little bit beaten up. Went through the washer at one point. And then here's Golden Sun 2. You know, my actual Game Boy Advance here. I used to play this thing so much. It's so tiny now. But the reason I just kind of want to say this is that, like, you know, it was a large chunk of my childhood, and they are two very well done games that do kind of play very back to back. To really get the whole story, you do have to play the first two back to back. Granted, at the end of things, and I'm gonna try not to spoil, there were a couple loose ends at the end of Golden Sun 2 that they didn't really tie up, but the ending was so good that you can live without it. You can live without the loose ends. You know, me as a kid, I loved those games, and I really wanted to see, you know, what happened next. You know, are we ever going to deal with those loose ends? But I still loved it. So, after playing the game, I think when I beat it, it probably was about maybe like a year, maybe 2 years after the game initially came out. So I was waiting for a while, and I remember, like, you know, I was just waiting for them to make a new one. And as soon as I found out the release year, around the time I started like using the internet a little bit more, I just kind of started counting. Really, I was just kind of like, okay, how many years? And so, you know, I remember at one point I went to like a camp, and I kind of brought up the game casually in some conversation, and I was going like, oh yeah, you know, it's been like what, like 5 years or something, and then they're going like, oh, I don't think it'll ever happen. I'm like, well, and so Around 7 years later in 2010, Nintendo dropped a trailer for Golden Sun Dark Dawn at E3. Me at the time, I was very excited for it, and it was also riding off the heels of, in Smash Bros. Brawl, how they included Isaac as an assist trophy. I would have rather he had been a character, but it was there, and it also had a remix of the battle theme from Lost Age and the final boss theme. So that was included, and it was okay. So I was hoping the Smash 4, even back then, after that game came out, I was like going, okay, he needs to be a character next time. He needs to be a character. So I played Golden Sun Dark Dawn. Dark Dawn. So, from a visual standpoint, it looked really great on the DS, but unlike Golden Sun 1, where it was an amazing looking launch title, Dark Dawn was an amazing looking DS title that came out at the end of the DS's lifespan. And had a very rushed story, and one of the worst cliffhangers I've seen in my entire life. Like a really, really bad cliffhanger. But I felt the game was still good, and I wanted to see what would happen next. It has been... That game came out in 2011. It is currently 2015, and there has been no word of a sequel, with them saying if they got enough support of people who would buy it, they would make another one. Which, by the way, is a jerk move when you end on a cliffhanger like that. It is. But, that aside, this new Smash Bros., from beginning to end, has one central thing about it that has just been a huge kick in the nuts. Just a massive kick in the groin. And that's the way it's treated Golden Sun. I want to reiterate, in Smash Bros. Brawl, Isaac was an assist trophy. And I want to remind you, Isaac is the main character of the original Golden Sun, and he kind of is the face of it, even though Felix is from Golden Sun 2 is also a very important character. Isaac is kind of the token character look. Like, they even kind of made there was a character that looked a lot like him for Dark Dawn that was your main character, because they knew he was iconic to the games as the original main character. So when we go into this with Isaac, is that this new Smash Bros. Has almost no representation for Golden Sun. And I literally mean almost no representation. When I say this, there is not a single trophy. There's no assist trophy. There's nothing except for the track from Smash Bros. Brawl and the world map music from Dark Dawn. I was optimistic that maybe, as soon as they announced that they were doing DLC, maybe they would make him as DLC. That was why they removed him as an assist trophy. But at this point, it has become blatantly clear, Nintendo does not care about freaking Golden Sun. I don't care what anyone says. At this point, I don't care. I had to wait 8 years for Dark Dawn. They spat out that game, gave us that cliffhanger, and immediately afterwards just said, oh, if we get enough support, we'll make a frickin' another one. What do you mean you'll make another frickin' one when you have a to be continued at the freaking end? You don't freaking do that. And the fact that they went and did this, no representation, absolutely no freaking representation. I'm a little bit upset. Every single direct, I go into it with the faintest hope that maybe we'll get another one. Maybe we will. No. I'm done with this crud. I literally am. Sure, I'm going to continue LPing Lost Age, okay? And I probably will LP Dark Dawn, but frick. Actually, I don't even know if I want to LP Dark Dawn. If this is where it ends, I kind of want to forget that game exists at this point. I kind of just... I'm sorry. This is just... I'm heated because I really love this series. I really loved it as a child, And it's just kind of unfair to me to kind of see where it's gone to. Now, at least around where I live, when I talk to a lot of fellow gamers, you know, at least among what little ones I knew around me, no one knows what Golden Sun is. Like, I mean, some people now with the help of the internet and other stuff, some people have discovered it, and I guess around when I was a kid it was popular on the Game Boy Advance, but somewhere in those years between Lost Age and the third one, the fan base kinda went their own ways and did their own thing, to the point that you could definitely hear comments of people being like, there was a third one? And I wouldn't blame them. So for Camelot to go and ask people just if there's enough support, how do they know you still exist? You waited that long to make a third one. And I know a lot of it probably was, they had no idea what they were going to do with the plot, and that kind of shows with Dark Dawn in a lot of ways. It just, to me, I don't know. I mean, like, out of a lot of my friends, I think I'm probably one of the, out of, like, a lot of people, man, I'm probably the biggest Golden Sun fan. And, which is also the most painful thing about, again, how it's been treated. Wholeheartedly. I can't restate it enough. Just every direct. You know, at the very least, they do announce these other cool things. But I'm kind of done caring at this point. I mean, I'm just kind of defeated, you know? Like, the best symbolism I can make for this direct right here is that kind of Golden Sun's last chance, at least for me in the eyes of Nintendo here, was that it was their last chance of being able to, you know, be done again, you know? And they just refused. I think the series is dead. I think what happened is Dark Dawn did not do well, or like as well as they had hoped, and because of that, Nintendo probably, you know, to some extent, you know, they're holding it back unless it has the guaranteed support. And the thing is, after Dark Dawn, it's hard to get that support back. It really is, and that's the thing that absolutely kills me about this. And the original games, it doesn't help either that the original Golden Suns are starting to age like complete crud. This is the problem with a lot of games where they try to look realistic, especially on very specific platforms like this, where the games start to age really, really badly. And Golden Sun is up there. It's up there right now. It doesn't look bad, but how good the game looked does not translate anymore. It's no longer applicable, especially when it's on platforms like the Wii U. Why they are releasing Game Boy Advance games on the Wii U and not the 3DS, I don't understand. Because putting them in higher resolutions is going to make the games look worse. Because they're made for a tinier screen where the pixels kind of meld together to look nicer. When you upscale them like that, it just makes it look worse. My LPs don't even look that great of it, because it's upscaled for you guys to view. To actually play it in its good, correct quality, you would have to play it on the original Game Boy Advance, which again brings up issues. So, just, I have no words for freaking anything anymore. I'm making this video to just kind of say, guys, that kind of my state kind of throughout all of the Smash DLC, and kind of a hope that I was having, just kind of being effectively squashed. Now again, I want to say the choices they made were good. I'm not questioning them. Granted, we could have done without having another Fire Emblem character. In terms of representation, that was a kick in the nuts, considering Golden Sun, but at the same time, the character looks unique and seems to play unique, and I have no peeve with him as a playable character. And I'm sure a lot of you guys agree with me on that one. Bayonetta seems like an answer to a lot of the competitive players. I see, from what I saw there, she could be definitely up there with Sheik and Zero Suit Samus, probably. At least that's what it seems. Cloud seems like I don't know, I have to play him later. Just, Yeah, I got nothing really. That's just really my thoughts on the matter, and it sucks that this happened. I was hoping a lot for, you know, a new it is something Golden Sun related, and again, I think this is just a testament to the fact that Golden Sun don't care. Or like, I mean, Nintendo don't care. They don't. That's it. I mean, I think Golden Sun's dead. Maybe they'll prove me wrong in the future. I don't expect anything. And it's sad that I have to say that, but at this point, kind of what it is. I can still suggest to all of you guys, go play Golden Sun 1 and 2. You don't have to play Dark Dawn, though. But you can play the original ones and enjoy them and have fun. You might not get the same experience as I did when I was a child playing it, but you guys should play it, and they're very good games. Just, I don't know. I've just kind of said everything I wanted to say, and yeah. So I thank you guys for tuning into this video, and I'll see you next time. And I hope you guys all have a great day. And again, I'm going to continue doing Lost Age, of course. I just need to calm down and kind of think this over a little bit, but I don't. Yeah. So I'll see you later. Bye.